Today on Public Eye News, the Iron Mountain City Council holds a vote for recreational marijuana, and Pine Ridge residents can move back in after apartment fire.
Later, I will give you the weather report, and my co-anchor Jillian Wormlinger will give you a sports update. Hi, I'm Caleb Rydell.
And I'm Jillian Wormlinger, and this is Public Eye News.
Fun way to start it.
It has been 7 weeks since the Pine Ridge Apartments caught fire, forcing all of the tenants to move out. Yesterday, the Marquette Housing Commission finally received the permit to allow residents on the first 8 floors to move back in. However, the 9th floor is still under construction. Sharon Mackey, the executive director of the Marquette Housing Commission, was, quote, thankful for our patient and understanding tenants, unquote. During the reconstruction, the residents were living in temporary housing all across the Upper Peninsula. And the next phase of road construction for Marquette Township is underway, and with come traffic shifts. Starting today, traffic on US 41 in front of Walmart will shift to the north half of the new roundabout. MDOT is asking all motorists to pay extra attention and drive with caution. Next week, we'll bring more transitions on Brickyard Road and US 41, and the entire project is scheduled to be finished before winter.
The Iron Mountain City Council has voted on holding a public forum to discuss recreational marijuana facility licenses. Draft ordinances have been floating around the City Council since Proposal 1 was implemented at the beginning of this year, but they have been taking their time to make sure that things are properly thought out. The council is currently looking at a draft ordinance that would allow only a limited number of recreational marijuana facilities, which are closely related to the ordinance the city already has in place. People in favor of the ordinances have discussed the benefits of the money that the city will get for these businesses, while the opposition has stated that it will actually cost the town more in expenses. The public forum is set for October 7th. The students in the Chassell High School shop class are using their skills to help their community as they took on a new project. The class started building a new bridge for the community cross-country ski trail that has been around for 35 years. Badly worn from harsh winters and is in crucial need of a replacement, the project was commissioned and done in partnership with multiple organizations in the community, such as the Portage Health Foundation that paid for the bridge project wholly. The community has said that they are extremely proud of the class that has been hard at work and excited about this opportunity to help their community.
Spencer LaFave, a 20-year-old from Gladstone, was sentenced to a year in jail with credit for 66 days. LaFave was arrested in April of this year after breaking into several vehicles and stealing a firearm from one of them. He was given 1 year in jail for the weapons, firearms, and larceny charges, and an additional year for breaking and entering into a vehicle. Both sentences will be served concurrently. And the American Association for the Advancement of Science premiered their new website yesterday titled How We Respond, which showcases 18 communities across the nation and how they're reacting to climate change. Marquette is one of the featured communities due to an ongoing project with adaptation towards climate change. The Marquette County Climate and Health Adaptation Project includes studies on how warmer temperatures and more precipitation can impact drinking water. Another focus of the project is the increase of insects due to warmer temperatures leads to the risk of catching vector-borne diseases. The project also studies how climate changes cause flooding and droughts. And stay tuned. After this break, we'll be back there. We'll have your national and international news.
On Country Music, the birth of bluegrass.
I mean, how many people can say this man right here started a whole new genre of music? Bill Monroe did that.
And the life of the hillbilly Shakespeare, Hank Williams.
It all begins with a song. Songs are the magic carpets that change things. The world changed because of Hank Williams' song.
When country music continues.
Tonight at 8, plus an encore at 10.
With a little more than a year left in his first term as President of the U.S., House Judiciary Committee is holding their first impeachment hearing over President Trump. Following the Mueller report that stated there was no evidence of Trump's campaign collusion with the Russians, the committee is holding the hearing over obstruction of justice charges that were disputed over by the Mueller investigation team. Trump's campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, will be the first to testify at the hearing, where he has stated that he is excited to remind people that there was no obstruction and no collusion. Lewandowski, who is considered running for a Senate seat in New Hampshire, is set to appear at the hearing today. Police in Florida have arrested a possible serial killer using genetic genealogy technology and DNA collected from a cigarette. 37-year-old Robert Hayes has been charged in Palm Beach County with a first-degree murder for the death of one woman, but police believe he's killed at least 3 other women, and more charges are expected. Manuel Borruaquez has the story.
Mr. Hayes has been charged with first-degree murder.
Robert Hayes was denied bail Monday when he appeared in court in Palm Beach County.
If we hadn't put this individual in jail, he would have done this again, and we would have had another innocent victim out here.
According to police, Hayes was a college student at Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, studying criminal justice in 2005 and 2006, when he is believed to have shot and killed 3 women, Laquita Gunther, Julie Green, and Iwana Patton. But on Monday, Hayes was charged for a more recent murder. In 2016, Rachel Elizabeth Bay was found dead along a road in Palm Beach County. Florida State Attorney R.J. Larissa.
It's not just working the streets anymore. It's working with DNA. It's working with technology.
According to an arrest affidavit, it was DNA recently found on a discarded cigarette and genetic genealogy technology made popular with companies like 23andMe and Ancestry.com that linked Hayes to the Palm Beach County murder and then to 2 of the Daytona murders. Police say ballistic evidence connected him to a 3rd murder in Daytona, and he could be connected to a 4th. Daytona police say they continue to build their case before charging Hayes. Volusia County Sheriff Michael Chitwood said he spoke to one of the victims' families.
They are absolutely ecstatic. They didn't think they'd be alive to see this day come.
The Palm Beach County Public Defender's Office, which represents Hayes, has not yet responded to our request for comment.
Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Miami.
Iran's supreme leader said today that there will be no talks with the U.S. at any level in an attempt to end all speculation about a U.S.-Iran meeting. Iran faces allegations behind a devastating weekend attack on a Saudi oil field. The U.S. has made similar allegations to Saudi Arabia, going so far as to say the attack may have been launched from Iran itself or nearby Iraq, where Iran has powerful proxy militias on the ground. Iran has denied the charges. And Natalie Brand has more details about this from the White House.
President Trump says he wants to be 100% sure about who is responsible for an attack on Saudi Arabian oil facilities before deciding how to respond.
Well, we have a lot of options, but I'm not looking at options right now. We want to find definitively who did this.
CBS News has learned the U.S. has identified the locations in Iran where more than 20 drones and cruise missiles were launched. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will go to the Middle East to work with the Saudis and UN inspectors on what information about the attacks can be declassified.
They feel they're going to make a statement fairly soon, but they also know something that most people don't know as to where it came from, who did it, and we'll be able to find that out, figure that out very quickly. We pretty much already know.
President Trump says he does not want to go to war with Iran, but he is keeping military options on the table.
The United States is more prepared than any country in the history in any history, if we have to go that way. As to whether or not we go that way, we'll see.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill say they don't want war either, but they worry it may become unavoidable.
For months, we have been telling the administration that their campaign of blind escalation with Iran was going to get this country into a war of choice, and we are dangerously on the precipice of that conflict.
Saudi officials briefed congressional leaders on Capitol Hill Monday. Speaker Nancy Pelosi wants the Trump administration to brief all House members. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And stay tuned. After this break, we'll be back with your weather and sports.
As animal babies grow older, the need to push their limits grows stronger.
I'm hoping I will catch the moment where they will go and explore the world.
The agility of these babies at 5 months is off the scale.
And their sense of adventure,
They are so inquisitive.
starts to take shape.
Look at how happy they seem. All of them taking part in a nice bath.
Animal babies, first year on Earth.
Wednesday afternoon at 3 on Public TV 13.
Welcome back. I'm Caleb Radell, going to be taking you through your weather for today. As you can see behind me on the NMU campus, we have some sunshine out on the grass on the Academic Mall out there with a couple of clouds in the sky, and looks like those clouds aren't going to be going much of anywhere. Seems like we're going to be mostly partly cloudy for the rest of the week. Looking at our temperature right now, we're looking at mostly sunny with a temperature of 77 degrees and a wind out of the south-southwest at 13 miles per hour with a barometric pressure of 30.08 inches and falling. Taking a look tonight, we're going to see partly cloudy out there with a low of 63 and winds out of the south-southwest at 23 miles per hour. The wind is going to stay up there with a south-southwest at 23 miles per hour and a high tomorrow of 79 and partly cloudy out there. Taking a look around the UP, we're going to see some of the low 60s and up over into the 80s as well. We're going to start over in Sault Ste. Marie with 62 degrees, 63 in Manistee, Escanaba with 64, and down in Menominee, that's 67 degrees. Taking a look at the western half of the UP, the only full sun city we have is 73 in Iron Mountain. Going back to partly cloudies with 76 in Ironwood. Back at the Keweenaw in Houghton with 80 degrees. And back here in Marquette, 77 degrees and partly cloudy. Let's take a look at your week ahead. On Thursday, we're looking at a high of 77 with a low of 59 and some rain out there. Friday with a high of 74, a low of 63, partly cloudy out there. Saturday with a high of 76, a low of 62 and rainy. Well, it looks like we're going to be getting some rain here in the forecast, Max, and I hear it was raining on the Jets the other night.
It's a rough night to be a Jets fan, Caleb. The Cleveland Browns soundly defeated the New York Jets 23-3 to wrap up Week 2 last night on Monday Night Football. Not only did the Jets suffer a tough loss to begin their season 0-2, but they lost backup quarterback Trevor Siemian to a season-ending ankle injury after losing Sam Darnold indefinitely to mono last week. So up stepped Luke Falk, the Jets' 6th-round draft pick in the 2018 draft. Falk went 20 for 25 through the air for 198 yards and will start for the Jets next week against New England. On the other side of the coin, the Browns have somewhat righted the ship after an embarrassing Week 1 loss to Tennessee. Baker Mayfield threw for 325 yards and a touchdown. OBJ accounted for over half the team's receiving yards, and Myles Garrett lived in the Jets' backfield, recording 3 sacks. The Browns move on to host Los Angeles in Week 3. The Miami Dolphins continue to trade away all their promising young talent as they've reached an agreement with the Pittsburgh Steelers to trade Minkah Fitzpatrick. The Dolphins will send Fitzpatrick a 4th-round pick and a 7th-round pick to the Steelers in exchange for a 1st-round pick, a 5th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick. Fitzpatrick was granted permission from the Dolphins to seek a trade just 3 days ago due to conflicts with the coaching staff over Fitzpatrick's position on defense. Fitzpatrick, the 11th overall draft pick in 2018, will join a Pittsburgh defense that already features 7 former first-round picks, including fellow 2018 first-round pick Terrell Edmunds. The Dolphins continue to dive deeper into their rebuild. On top of dealing away Fitzpatrick in the past month, they've also traded away offensive lineman Laramie Tunsil and wide receiver Kenny Stills. And New York Giants head coach Pat Shurmur announced today that the team has elected to bench 15-year starter Eli Manning and will be handing the quarterback reins over to Daniel Jones. Jones, the 6th overall pick in this year's NFL draft out of Duke, put up strong numbers in the preseason, including an 85% completion rate and 2 touchdowns. Giants fans have long been anticipating the move to replace Manning at quarterback, who took over the job for the Giants back in November 2004. Manning has won 2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs with the Giants, but since the Super Bowl 46 victory, no NFL starting quarterback has lost more games or thrown more interceptions than Eli Manning. Jones will make his debut as the starter this Sunday on the road against Tampa Bay. Well, I tell you, Caleb, this NFL season's been full of surprises already so far, but how about Lamar Jackson in Baltimore? Perhaps the most pleasant surprise of them all.
Absolutely, Max, and I'm actually going to be surprised at how well he does this year, and we're going to see how good we can make it. But that's all the time we have for you today at Public Eye News. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public